Welcome back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for another low-skill weapon review where we take a Destiny 2 weapon and examine it from a low-skill player's perspective. Me, being a low-skill player, am the perfect man for the job. If you came here looking for a montage of sick multi-kills and team wipes, or me dropping 50 bombs on the enemy team, you've come to the wrong spot. We're going to be looking at these weapons from a perspective of how can we make this work with what a low skill or casual player does best, which is putting bullets down range and supporting our team. So, the first time I saw Sweet Buisness, I looked at it and I was like, heck yeah, I want to use a minigun. I'm going to be like Jesse Ventura in that scene from The Predator where he's mowing down the whole forest, and yeah, you get the point. I want to run this like a bullet hose and just mow down enemies. And I feel like a lot of other players might have had these thoughts pop into their head the first time they took their exotic Ingram to Rahul and he gave them a Sweet Buisness back in return. But let's see if what we think this gun is gonna do is actually what it can do in the Crucible.
I've seen enough. I'm holding this one. That shut them down.
So, before we put this thing to the test, let's take a look at the perks. Payday. Larger magazine, increased accuracy when firing from the hip. Picking up ammo for this weapon reloads it. Polygonal rifling, increased stability. Armor-piercing rounds. Rounds cause extra damage to combatant shield and over-penetrate targets. Business time. Sustained fire, boost range and rate of fire. Composite stock. This weapon has a versatile dual-purpose stock, slightly increases range, slightly increases handling speed. So, we also have a catalyst for this weapon. When this weapon is fully spun up, the flinch from incoming damage is greatly reduced. Appearance, it does have two ornaments. I have neither. One is pretty sweet. It's like a gold and wood grain looking ornament. If Tess is selling this and you like the Sweet Buisness, you might want to consider picking this one up. It's pretty good looking. If you do not yet have the Sweet Buisness, it is a general world drop, or you can buy it from Zer if he's selling it that week. The Catalyst will drop in the Crucible for us, so if you do not have the Catalyst, look for it there. So, without further ado, let's go mow down some baddies in the Crucible. So, first thing to take note of is how spinning up works on this gun. It starts firing at 300 rounds per minute and gradually increases all the way up to 900 rounds per minute, giving us a 0.93 second optimal TTK value. And that spinning up animation looks sweet. I mean, it looks good. You get your barrel all glowing red after you hold the trigger down. Sounds aggressive. There's flame shooting out the end of it. It's an awesome design. And if you're looking at it from a lower skill player's perspective, you're like, bullets down range. Lots and lots of bullets down range. This is gonna be awesome. You can post up from behind your team and just unleash the fury of this gun on the enemy team. Or you can travel a little quicker, firing from the hip, running through the map, just spraying bullets everywhere. And with 150 rounds in this magazine, added to the fact that when you run over an ammo brick, you get reloaded, it feels like you never have to stop shooting. And if there's an enemy coming at you in a roaming super, and you have enough space between you and him, just lay on the trigger, bury all those rounds right in his chest, and he will be staring at the sky in a matter of moments, wondering what the heck just happened. So you're probably thinking, why isn't everyone in the Crucible using this gun? This sounds awesome. You know what, Ironworker? I'm going to stop your video right here. I'm going to go grab this Sweet Buisness out of my vault, and I'm going to go wreck house in the Crucible. Well, hold on just a minute, because this gun does have some drawbacks. And let's take a look at those before you go running out in the Crucible with this thing. The performance of this gun is not quite as intimidating or devastating as it looks or sounds. One thing you really need to be wary of is making sure your gun is spun up before engaging with the enemy team. And when you do, if you're firing into a group of enemies, don't just hose back and forth over 3 or 4 enemy bodies. It's not going to work out. You're going to tickle them all, but you're not going to kill any of them. You need to focus down a target with this gun before moving to the next one. Now the range on this gun is pretty good, but not great. So definitely do not try engaging with an enemy outside of your standard auto rifle range, because the damage is just not going to be there for you. Now, another way this gun might get you in trouble from time to time is having to overcommit to gunfights. Even when you're spun up, it's going to take you a moment or two to hose an enemy down. That's going to give his buddy a time to round the corner and put a bullet in your head with his sniper rifle, or for an enemy to come around your side and pop you with a shotgun. On top of having to overcommit to these gunfights, ADSing with this gun is an issue for me. I inherently ADS. It's probably a bad habit that I have. I ADS almost any time I pull the trigger. It's a me problem, I know. But when you pull this gun up and look down the sights, it is big and chunky. It feels like it takes up the whole bottom half of your screen. On top of that, the muzzle flash is so bright, I feel like I have a real hard time tracking a target with it. So in this situation, those sweet looking flames coming out of the end of the barrel can become a big hindrance. One thing I touched on when I was doing my Bastion weapon review was having to adapt to the playstyle of the gun. You have to work to make this gun work. And I really don't know if that's something casual or lower skill players are comfortable doing, or if it's even something they would want to do. This isn't a weapon that you can peek around a corner, pop off a couple shots, and get back behind cover with. No, you have to get around a corner, lay on the trigger for a good bit of time, especially if you're not already spun up, and hope you either put the enemy down, or hope you have a buddy around the corner that can help you out and get a couple shots in them. Because it's not a peek and pop gun by any means. Lastly, I just do not feel mobile when using this gun. A lot of it probably ties back to adapting your playstyle to the gun, where the gun wants you to stay in one place. It just wants you to put bullets down a lane. And I just feel like I'm running in sand when I'm using this weapon. I know my mobility's not hindered by it as far as stats go, but I just feel slower. And feeling slow when you need to be quick is a big problem for me. Okay, so what are we going to do with this gun? Is it good? Is it bad? Do we keep it with us at all times? Do we throw it in our vault and forget about it forever? Do we just outright delete it as soon as we get it? Well, I would recommend at least trying the gun, simply because it's fun to use. Now, I know it's not the monster of a weapon that you might think it should be, but as a lower skill or casual player, sometimes having fun is just as important as having a good KD at the end of the match or winning the game, because that's what we're here to do, have fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not going to want to play the game anymore. But that being said, maybe you pick this gun up and you really love it, it becomes your gun. I don't have enough hours invested in this gun to say whether with, constant usage, it could be better, because it's just not for me. But if it's for you, hey, it's a serviceable weapon. If you can make it work, make it work. Now, if your playstyle falls right in line with the playstyle that this gun requires, hey, go slay out with it and look badass with this minigun strapped to your hip while doing it. That is going to do it for our Sweet Business low skill weapon review. If you liked the video, why don't you give it a thumbs up for me? If you really liked the video, how about subscribing to my channel? And if you really, really, really liked the video, how about you pass it along to a buddy with that share button there? Hey, and if you don't want to do any of those things, that's cool, man. Just clicking on my video and giving me a chance means the world to me, and I do truly appreciate it. If you would like to interact with me live, I do stream on Twitch. YouTube videos have kind of been taking up a good bit of my time, but I pop on there when I can. Also, I have a brand spanking new Twitter account if you want to interact with me over there. You can just look for Ironworker814 on either one of those platforms if you want to interact with me. But thank you again for checking out my video. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you on the next one.